Are you guys ready?
Yep.
I think they're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, time for Victor Allen's new Sportz, written and directed by the man the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. That's right, rub his hand and make a wish. And here it is, the fan-based view of sports. We hope you wear your sports bra and your jockstrap. Everyone.
Why you gotta
go ahead, Tyre.
Be like that, man.
Everybody, it's Victor. I'm trying to.
You know what? All that drama, man. Hey, I think some people are going. I'm not going to point out somebody was actually sending in a request via inbox to pose a question real time. Well, typically we would do that if it's set up as a regular program, but we do this really right now through interactive chat. But if something is set up in the future, we can arrange that because we never know who's really representing on the other end. You got to qualify that first, because sometimes you can just go, let me see what's up, and then you get the wrong response because you're being surprised. So for those of you who are interested in saying, hey, I'd like to have a conversation, you need to know what the topic's about, who it's coming from, and we need to validate that. That's just part of the mechanism. All right, welcome to the sports world as it relates to the place that doesn't really cover sports. We just talk around it, and that's what the world is about. Your opinion, your observation, and what you're going to do with this bitch. I don't mean you guys are. This is my little bitch, and we have a synonymous relationship. You know I'm going to talk about the Lakers because you know why. Okay.
So we're in Los Angeles. They're our local team.
You know why, right?
Because they're not a contender.
You know what?
Because Jeannie Buss.
You hit it, Mario. Go on, run down the list, bro.
You know, I like Jeannie.
I see. You like Jeannie now, huh?
I always did like Jeannie.
You're right.
I did Jeannie, and she's a responsible child in the family.
Right.
Father made sure that he made sure that it was perfectly clear.
Yeah.
That she was to run it. She still treated her brother to me like a brother, gave him ample opportunities after he was, like you said, after a failed run at being, in charge of player op or whatever his titles were.
Right.
He had another title for this title.
Right.
And he failed at both of them. Right. So, Jeannie Buss, man. I'm with her, man.
Okay. What I'm going to do for those, because for the few people, we are in a city where some people just don't follow the Lakers. So this is for the benefit of those who don't follow the Lakers, not the ones who already know the story. Here it is. This is my way of saying Jeannie Buss Thorpe's power move from siblings Jimmy and Johnny Buss, and I'm just going to read what has happened here, and then you guys, we could take it from there. And what we're doing here is trying to compare it to how big this particular attempt is. On Friday, this past Friday, you guys, Lakers broke the news, more drama. Jenny's brother, Jim and Johnny, were trying to overthrow their sister, according to a report by the LA Times. It said that Jim and Johnny were planning a meeting to elect a new board of directors, but Jeannie put a stop to it by asking for a restraining order. Jim and Johnny's attorney is involved in this, of course. The key to this is that even though she's in charge, she has to be listed as a director. And so when they have a meeting and they decide to come and submit who the directors are, somehow Jim and Johnny had a list of directors that didn't include their sister. Had that been voted on, if she's not given the title as director, she then is removed from her position. Now, Jim and Johnny proposed 4 directors, but none of the names were included. That, of course, reflected the name Jenny. If she lost her title as director, she would also be stripped of her job, as I told you before. Sachs is the attorney who's basically saying, I'm responding to all the claims that there was this coup and everything. When they asked him about, explain.
There was no coup.
Well, remember what they're saying now.
Well, they were attempting.
They were attempting a coup. They were attempting. Right. But see, I'm putting the Lakers up there because you know how valuable they are. They're the second most valuable franchise.
It was so interesting. Remember, they retained their ownership. This is not about ownership.
No, it's not.
So everybody still keeps their money, Daddy. This is about
control.
Running the team.
Control.
Right.
All right. Now, this is my question, Mario. Mario got a couple of brothers. Their powers, Mario and them got swag. They're all running the organization. one of your brothers or two of them said, we're going to go up here and we submit the names for the new yearly or whatever period piece of assigning directors to the board. And we accidentally left off Mario's name. But we had our lawyer with us. What do you think, Mario? Your brothers left your name off the director's list.
It wasn't an accident. These
Right.
are the things you do when you attempt to seize that kind of control.
Absolutely.
And you can't really bail the attempt legally. It is,
It is what it
it
is.
is what it is. You can try what you say to the public.
Right.
But the legal documents speak specifically. It has to be said in a certain way.
Absolutely.
So, no, they know.
They know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me compare this. What do you think is a bigger story? The Clippers and what they went through to Donald Sterling? Or if we've yet to see the bigger story from this infighting with the Lakers, yet to come and be completed? Because once it started, it's rolling. How big will it be?
Oh, it doesn't even compare to Stern at all. This is nothing. This is a family squabble. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
It was legally prepared. The efforts that he's making are not going to go anywhere, and it'll be over.
Okay. Would you say this is, like you said, it's not about money, right? Power.
It's about control.
Control. I'm going to give you a couple of graphics and to see if you can relate. Hey, Mark, this is right up your lane. And see which title kind of is consistent with what's happening here. You remember Carlito's Way? Do you remember Carlito's Way, man? The streets are watching. That was the claim. The streets are watching. Go to the next one.
Like what Jim Buss wishes it looked like.
All right. Is it Game of Thrones?
That's what it is.
Is it a Game of Thrones? All right. Or is it barbarian minions at the gate? Or is it...
It's a combination of a Game of Thrones and Little Minions.
Okay, wait a minute. Last. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
Little Minions.
I couldn't think of the Little Minions.
Little Minions, that's pretty good.
All right, Little Minions. And the last. White men fighting over cash. What is it? What's the closest one?
No, Minions. It's Game of Thrones.
It's Game of Thrones, right? You know how good you are, bro? That is what the laughter has been via Twitter. That it started off as being the reference to a Game of Thrones. So you're right in that area, but I have to admit, I kind of like the barbarian minions at the gate. So, and here's the thing. Do you believe that now the battle has been set that is Genie and Magic, which Magic has really no say so because it's a family thing, and it's Jim and Johnny, and this will be squashed before the end of this fiscal year, or it will continue on into the following year after year, and they're going to have a wedge and friction ongoing? How long do you think it's going to last?
Oh, I don't know. The ill will could last for a while, but the initial legal rulings won't take that long.
It won't, right? But
It's gonna. I think, especially based on what was set up, it was set up this way for his reason.
Right.
His father did not want him to have that responsibility.
True. Absolutely.
People don't get it. They go like, if your father came back from the dead, he will go, "You still are fired."
Wait a minute.
Idiot.
Wait a minute.
That's what they gotta act like. Well, Dad was here. You go, "You're fired."
Right. So watch this. Let's say public opinion approval right now for Jim was at 25% before this story came out. Where do you think his public opinion polls are now? Or is Genie really the wrath behind a pretty smile? Where do you think it's going? Where do you think public favor is going right now?
No, public favors with Jeannie.
All day, right?
She's a very personable person, too.
Absolutely, man.
I've seen you see her on the interviews. You get the impression, whether you agree or not, she gave her brother a chance and a chance and a chance.
Right.
Now, whether you agree with that or not, that's another whole thing. You might hate her for that, or
true.
But as a sister, you don't feel like you definitely feel like, wow, your sister showed
absolutely
that she's like your sister. I'm sorry,
yes.
No offense.
Yeah.
As a guy who's been around people, we've all been around people with family with dysfunctional areas. I'm sorry.
So we already
That's showing.
Right.
That's showing good enough.
right. It is.
Right. She did good by her brother,
Right.
and I think that's why the LA fans are embracing her.
And you know what?
She's liked and respected by people.
Do you think? And here's my thing. Jim stays off camera. He stays from speaking. He's not camera ready. He's not
That camera friend.
right. So
Stay away.
stay away. So
Stay
just
away.
keep his ass away. Right.
Right.
No, I'm not banging on Jim just because he's not a good people. I'm just saying it just seems like he's his own man, and he's not the father's wish necessarily. He's really trying to go, look, my father had his time. This is my time, and he's trying to gangster his sister. And you think that has anything to do with her being a female, or it wouldn't make any difference?
Oh no, this goes back. Okay, you know that this goes back to when they were even children.
Right.
Over the years, he's never performed, and she did.
That's right.
And that's why you grow up into these roles. But this whole history has always been there and been confirmed forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why he made it clear. We know situations like this.
Wait a minute. I'm just going to leave it low because it's the idea that you make a step forward and then you make a step backwards. And it gets worse in public opinion. So now he's sunk to a new
He's still
low.
rich, so who cares?
Oh, you know what?
He's still rich.
He has, but it's not satisfying him. Remember, you quoted that before.
Go to therapy. Find Jesus.
Wait. Why don't you hand me some of that stuff?
So, yeah, it's about to say, that ain't the way to solve that.
You're right.
In other words, you're a millionaire. You want to feel better. Let's go to therapy and feel better about what we have.
Okay, I got you. All right. Well, the rescue mission is this: will Magic's magic come and bring what they call some seasoned veterans?
I don't know because I didn't like the Lou Williams trade. I'm still trying to understand that. You gonna explain it to me? I don't get it.
I'm gonna say this.
What did they get for him? I liked him. I thought he was a great player. And he goes right over there and scores like.
But you know what? Let me say this.
God.
Lou has a history, okay, dedicated, a producer, but not enough to change the Lakers as it relates to not only the culture and the winning and the progressiveness. So they're paying him, and so I guess they're freeing up money, man. I just think that they just freed it
I
up.
was hoping that, but from what I understood, it wasn't that much money freed up.
It wasn't, and they're freeing up.
That's why I don't understand it.
Right. The moves that has to be made right now is if you leverage.
Because if you want me to support,
you got to leverage your new players.
That's Magic's first deal. Then that wasn't pleasing to me.
No, and I don't think it would have. First of all, nobody was going to give you anybody for Lou Williams, but I like him. But they weren't going to give you anybody for him. What they want is they want the young tenders, man. And so now the decision is, and I know this. A couple of those players got to go for leveraging, or else you're going to be waiting for. I said 2020. If you don't get no legends or some legacy players back here, 2020 is when you guys will be. And I'm talking about the Lakers, playoff ready. Other than that, young guns coming up in the game, and they got to trade one of those or two to get somebody here, man.
Good luck.
Wait, we didn't see. You're saying good luck, right?
Good luck.
Okay, it could be worse, but it's
I
not.
hope Magic pulls it off.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm rooting for him. I'm a Magic Johnson fan.
Yeah, but you know what it is, Mario.
I didn't really like him as a coach.
No, and
I wouldn't say that because I wouldn't want to piss him off.
And I'm gonna say this.
He's a good guy.
I think it wasn't him seeking it as much as at that time Jerry Buss was there. I think it was one of those, we need to patch this up. Your face. Remember, Mario, the key is keeping people in the seats, keeping them coming to the games. Magic is easy to talk to. Was Jim easy to talk to?
No.
Hell no. Jeannie, easy to talk to. But when you disrupt the flow of an organization and its culture, it's hard to stay on track.
Well, that's why I said, again, management-wise, it seemed to be straightforward.
Right.
She could have continued without doing this, and she would have. She was already getting getting people who are attacking her.
Right.
For her not moving forward.
Right.
So she stood in there for a few years with this.
Yes, she did. And then here's the other part. How much do you tolerate from your brother when the wedge of Phil Jackson before he left, for New York, attempting to come back and be considered as a coach for LA? that whole story, I won't even go into the details of it. Here's your brother having his sentiments about this, but that's your boo, that's your coach. And notice he could not get in. Now, for whatever reason, imagine what she has to do and stay neutral. Does she sit back and say, hey, I got to give you time because that was father's wish, but then my boo's over here. Where do I go? Blood? Or I do go with boo? And it seemed like Phil didn't have a chance here once Jim got involved. I don't know all the particulars, but I do know he did not embrace Phil at the time of trying to come back to coach the Lakers. So, hey, all I'm saying is I think it's going to be 2020, you guys. Just keep your fingers crossed. 2020. Unless Magic has the magic. All right, you ready for the next one? Next one is, this story came out a week ago, and it didn't grab a lot. My title is No Room for the Straight Girl.
Well, people didn't want to touch it.
Just right. Candace, they did not want to. And I said,
which is good that you did.
Yeah, no room for the straight girl. Total opposite culture here where you actually are going. I'm going to give you some snippets of what she said because she had a lot to say, and I'm just going to give you kind of the overall. It's Candace Dana Wiggins, and I can't believe we were back at the time talking about her, standout from Stanford. She's already now a former player, been in the league already more than enough years on average, probably about 9 years, maybe a little short than that, 8 years. Candace Wiggins, a former Stanford standout who retired in 2016, said in an interview with the San Diego Union Tribune that 98% of the league is gay and that she was bullied and targeted for harassment. Reversed. Okay, the culture.
The oppressed become the oppressed.
Oh my God, dude. Okay.
That's why it's a cliche.
It is a cliche. Now here, a quote from her. Me being heterosexual and straight and being vocal in my identity as a straight woman was huge, Wiggins said. It was a conformist type of place. There was a whole different set of rules the other players could apply. I'd never been thrown to the ground so much. The message was, we want you to know we don't like you. And then, she, of course, in her first year initiation, she was called bitch regularly. So, here's the thing. Nobody wants to touch this. She's in her rookie year. There's an indoctrination that happens in your rookie year. We all know that you have to go through the gauntlet.
By the way, the picture looks kind of good.
Do you? Did you wait? Come on, man. Wait a minute. You're supposed to be feeling sorry for Candace because
I am still sorry.
You feeling sorry?
I'm just seeing why they probably admired her. Jealous.
See, this is what I'm saying. So
I'm not making fun.
No. Here's the other part. There are other beautiful women in the NBA, as you will find out after this segment in Hot Picks. Why Candace? Sometimes they go, well, could you handle it? Did you know that you're not thick-skinned? They went out her way, but she had a long career, so she went through it. It sounds
people are gonna mix well with different groups. Like
absolutely.
In all fairness, some people are gonna mix better with gays and not with gays.
That's right.
I mean, blacks and not with blacks. I don't know if I'm ready to judge you for that.
Right.
You know, we tend to stay on the side of the one who gets treated as the outsider.
Bullying is not cool regardless.
Right.
It's not cool regardless.
That's why I still tend to go there. Whether you're in a comfort zone, because you are surrounded by your homies, so now you want to be an asshole.
Right.
Okay, that's Ted Nugent.
Wait, you busted out on Ted, man.
I'm just saying.
You busted Ted, right?
So that's when you were around your homies, and that's when you're bullied. That's a particular type.
Right. Here's the part that is getting. I can only go by what she's reporting. When you are bullied, that's one thing. But when you can't go into your own organization for support, and that. Basically,
why can't you?
Well,
because legally you have the same legal rights.
You do,
but with the same burdens of proof.
Absolutely. Now you get into
what I'm saying. It's not an easy thing to sue for that.
You know what?
And you can't sue for sexual harassment.
Right. They're talking.
Those are some deep pockets.
And the difference between being bullied and then the sex thing itself. It sounded like what they were doing is beating up on her. Because she wasn't one of them.
That's a whole league thing.
That's a 98%.
That's a whole league thing,
absolutely, right? Yes, it is. And wait a minute, Mario, you know this. You ever heard, it's my world, it's our world. Is that a practice that happens?
Always.
Always. That's it. So
I mean, the average people are assholes, and so they do shit like this. The average,
right.
In the average community, you're going to have a fair number of people who are like this.
Right. Now,
unfortunately.
So in a short amount of time, this is the first claim so far that I know of.
I'm surprised that it's the first.
First, I am too. It's the first
some
reported.
Other people probably handled it like we handled racism in the past without making a big deal of it.
Right.
Because I certainly respect like the views of someone like Lisa Leslie.
Yeah.
I would be
really,
but it's how she probably handled stuff her way.
Right.
Like we handle racism.
Right. And let's just forget about whether players come in with a certain attitude, snobby, elitist. That has nothing to do with it. This is about somebody saying, I'm letting you guys know this is how I was treated. This is the culture. Let me tell you what I'm shocked at.
Well, she wrote a book, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Remember, you gotta. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't use any quote. I left that alone. That's why I'm leaving it up to everybody else to go check that out. Read it for yourself. It's a longer interview. You can find out more of those quotes. What I'm looking at is how she came up with her own number of 98%. I didn't think that high. I knew the league had what they would call people who choose the lifestyle they want. That's not the issue.
I think that's a high number.
Yeah, you think it's high too?
Yeah.
98 is a lot, dude.
I think it's like 70%.
Okay.
It's over 50.
Oh, yeah. And
it's well over 50%.
Right.
I don't know. Again.
We're gonna find. Watch this.
This deal and be proactive.
And we're gonna show you something in Hot Picks as it's relative to it. But I won't get into that now. I want to get into what they call the greatness of the quote, and does it change the game if I said it versus somebody else? And we're going to scroll on down, or up, excuse me, how you ever see it. Michael Jordan, during his halftime speech, North Carolina, he's alumni, and going against Duke. And at his halftime speech, everybody already knows this. His quote was, "The roof is the ceiling." Okay, that's all I'm saying. The roof is the ceiling. Now, if Victor Allen said, "The roof is the ceiling," what would be your first response, Mauro? Because you've checked me on a lot of stuff. You make sure he says, "What?" That's your favorite.
It's a misquote.
Wait a minute. His airness is his highness.
Because above the roof is the sky. And we always talked about reaching. We've heard it's almost cliche to talk about reaching for the sky, right?
Right.
I believe I can fly.
Right.
Reaching for. So it's a misquote. We know what you meant to say.
And the greatness gets a pass.
And you effed it up.
Does he?
He doesn't get a pass because he's the type to be critical of other people for exactly this kind of shit. No, he doesn't.
Do you give him a pass?
No. Because he gets a little arrogant.
Wait a minute.
So he's not one of my favorite people. He's a wonderful athlete.
Yes.
But when he speaks, he turns me on.
You know what? It's interesting. And
very well to not speak.
And let me say this, what they're doing.
Because all the Fame speech was terrible.
All the general media, not everybody is going, well, he's great. He gets to say what he wants, and it becomes a reflection of his greatness. Now, I'm not saying that, Marcus.
I guess.
Because when you become great, there will people he gets a pass.
I think that as you really approach greatness, you develop a kind of a metaphysical approach that involves a certain kind of internal harmony.
Yeah.
That means that, to me, greatness, you develop a better internal peace, Vic.
Yes.
To me, as you grow out from your moments.
Absolutely.
And to me, that's what I'm talking about. Usually, for most of us, it involves humbling ourselves more.
True.
So that our more abrasive sides are lesser. I don't know.
No. You got a good point. But what you're going to, Mario, is that path, that the wisdom, now the growth. What that transformation?
Let me get your ass kicked. Chill out.
I'm trying to make it easy for you. There. Take a helmet. Look. Let me just say. Look, man. I know. But see, I'm gonna say this. If you guys watch,
the roof is the ceiling.
The roof is the ceiling. The ceiling. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Mario, you know this, and you know this is true. You could be in certain professions, and when you are credible because of what you've done, you get a pass for things that you do that the average person don't.
That doesn't say it's right or good, and not always. And that's the kind of stuff that also blows up in your face one day.
Right. It will.
Because one day they don't do it. No. If you're waiting for it, boom.
They're already still attaching the pictures of Michael Jordan in the blue, in this outfit with him with the crying image that keeps following him all the time, the tears flowing from that famous photo. It's everywhere they go, they show him doing the crying thing, and so they're having fun with that. But if you take, which I call the biggest league of liars, standing in front of your face every day, politicians. No disrespect to you guys saying that all of you guys do it, but you guys do what they call we don't answer direct questions as a practice. Period. While others like Michael and others in sports and other areas have to go black and white. Did you?
Well, they don't have to,
but they do, and they get a pass.
Well, no, they don't. They do the same stuff. They just do sometimes less. In other words, I think okay. Everybody lies, and everybody spins on both sides. Right. That's my opinion. Most people, no matter where you look, don't have integrity on either side of these issues. They just don't.
They don't.
Even when you find a real player that does, he's a unique player.
And the only reason why I said how they're micromanaged, it's the same thing. Once they see a story, they grab it, they paint the picture of the person, and typically it's lasting a lifetime for them. Whereas we see every day.
They're trying to do that.
But see, the attempt to do it. Whereas when they say there's a profession called politics where they're never straight
No,
answers.
they do it as an art form. They're just better at it. It's the same thing.
Right, it's still the same. They're not answering directly.
I would argue they have a different level of education.
Always.
Most of them in politics, or at least
attorneys. Most of them have a legal background. Right.
They were trained in how to do this.
Right. Alternative facts.
Right.
You can
go train yourself, but you're trained in how to not answer, not volunteer anymore.
Right.
And you're graded in that and all of that.
Right.
So, that's why they do better.
Yeah.
So some of that is the nature of the individual, whereas the other ones are athletes.
Right.
So you can't really compare.
I'm not comparing them in that education level. Yeah, I'm not comparing them in the education level.
Yeah, because the roof is the ceiling.
Right. I'm just comparing. You jacked up, dude. See, I'm trying to give them some backup.
The roof.
See, Joe.
The roof is on fire.
See, this is wrong.
That's the motherfucking bird.
Dude. At the end of the day, what would you rather be? Would you rather be the smartest person, nobody follows you or believes you, or a person who's half as smart but everybody loves you?
I'd rather be the happy person.
See?
I don't know if any of that is good. Those are the choices.
All right, you guys, this is a good one. The roof is on fire. Here's my exiting out. Just a quick statement because I don't have time. March Madness. Want to let you know. Get you guys brackets ready. It starts shortly. You guys, you know what it means. I'm going to
wait.
March Madness.
I love March Madness. I remember what DeVoe said. Well, why are they mad? Why are they mad?
That's Jack Joe, man. Wait, now you throwing DeVoe under the bus.
Girl, I don't know why they mad.
You throwing her under the bus. That's just wrong, man. Okay, there's your bracket.
They're mad at March.
I'll be, first of all, you guys don't need to see our bracket. You just need to know what teams made it. That's all that's important. It starts Tuesday, March 14th, and then it ends April 3rd, 2017. Get in your final. I always say, give me your Sweet 16 and take it from there. Everything else.
That sounds like something else.
Yes.
different actors.
Sweet 16. Don't listen to him. The roof is a ceiling. I'm out on sports, man. I'm getting out of here, dude.
Sweet 16.
That's wrong.
Ow! Mr. Allen, do the sports, and they get Sweet 16. Mr. Allen's family. It's here every week, a recurring segment.
That's cold, man.
On the Morning Coffee with Mario show. Written and directed by Mr. Allen, creator of Hot Mix. See you every week. Yeah.